Well, hello and welcome back. Patrick Shaw with you. This week's question is, would I be better off buying a franchise? And I think it's a great question. And like any great question, the answer depends on your perspective. Ultimately, it depends on what are your individual goals for starting any type of business. Now, if your goal is leverage, freedom, passive income, if you are ambitiously lazy, that is to say that you love the idea of business and you don't mind working hard, but you don't want to trade time for money. You want to be able to take a month off without any of the traditional headaches or worries of a traditional business. Then I would say in most cases, a franchise is not what you're looking for. There are other factors. What is the cost involved? You know, a Class A franchise is $1 million. You still have the traditional headaches: overhead, employees, liabilities, square footage, advertising. There is a cap on your income. I was in the restaurant business and I had a manager, and it occurred to me one day, and I should have thought about this before I started the business, and I think that's the value of a conversation like this. But I got into the business and didn't give enough thought to what the end game was. I had a business that with a proper manager could generate about $60,000 a year in income. Now, the liability, the employees, the overhead, the advertising, the cost of being in that business was significantly greater than the reward. I would have had to have 10 of those to meet my income objectives. And I didn't enjoy having one of them. And I didn't want to be the person there on a regular basis. This is why it's so important to identify what matters most to you. The beauty of a properly structured network marketing business is that you have flexibility. You can generate passive residual income. And in many cases, there's not much of a cap on your income. I mean, maybe it's $1 million a year, or, some rare error that very few people want to really achieve anyway. If you ask me, I think the majority of people say, look, if I could make 100, 2, 3, $400,000 a year, they'd be pretty darn excited. And that kind of income in the franchise industry, unless you're in a Class A franchise that might have cost you several millions of dollars, you're not going to generate that kind of income without multiple stores. So something to think about. I think it's a fantastic question.